effective evaluation.
There you go.
Yes, thank you.
All right, thanks. Giving a speech at Toastmasters and not receiving an evaluation is like dancing with your sister. It's like eating beans without rice. You feel incomplete. You feel unfulfilled. Evaluations are a very important part of Toastmasters. That's why Ralph Smedley included them. We need the feedback of others. When you look in a mirror, you can't see all of yourself. Try to look at all of yourself in one mirror. Even those ones that are 3, where you're measuring a suit on, getting it tailored, you can't see all of yourself. So you need other people to give you feedback. For instance, if I turn around, you guys can see my bald spot. I can't see my bald spot. So we need feedback. Now, what I've done is created a little form for you to follow, and it's on your table. It's basically 5 parts. Now, I'm going to combine explaining the form with some tips on effective evaluation. So the first thing, and it's not on the form, is to state the objective of the manual that they're doing, the project that they're doing, the path that they're doing. What is the objective of the speech? And then state how the speaker did with that objective. And be specific. Then, before you prepare to write down all these things, clear your mind, observe the speaker, be ready to receive the speech. A lot of people bring out the evaluation form, or they have the manual and they start writing feverishly. Hey, just sit back and observe. Let the speaker affect you. The other thing is that the evaluation is really an opinion. There's no right or wrong way to do a speech. Yes, there are certain public speaking techniques, but it's how the speech affected you, and it's your opinion. So let's go to the form for a second. The first thing I have there is what I liked. And do try to find more things right than wrong. I attend many clubs, and I went to Toastmasters at FIU Business, and those kids are brutal with each other. Man, it's like a competition. They just slam each other. And I had to call them out and say, hey, this is not what it's all about. It's to improve the speaker. So you state what you liked. The other strong word I use is what you loved. And you can say, I really loved how you did this certain thing. And be specific. Everything should have specifics. Now the next column, you'll notice I had a lot of plus signs, but the next one said, what distracted me? I used to say what I disliked. That's a very strong word. And the better word there is distracted, because there are certain things that distract or detract from a speech. For instance, if the person is doing a lot of this, there's a lot of pacing going on. There's no movement with purpose. Or the one thing that women love to do is this one. They cross their leg here, kind of protecting their womb or something like that. And men, they love this one. This is the one they love. Get that hand in the pocket, or get both hands in the pocket. This is very distracting. Now there's other things like, you know. So call out whatever it is that just took away from you. Sometimes maybe women play with their hair, or men touch their face. But just 1 or 2 minor things. Don't harp on it. Just call it out. And this is kind of the sandwich technique. You're giving a positive, what distracted. And then the recommendations. It should be the crux of your speech. What are the things or suggestions for opportunities for improvement? This is where you can make the speaker better. And be specific. There's times when I see evaluations where people will come up and, oh, you didn't do vocal variety. And they're on their first speech. They haven't even seen the part of the manual where it's vocal variety. And then if they are to use vocal variety, we'll give them an example. How could they have increased their pace or raised their volume or lowered their voice at one point? So be specific. Also, the other one is body movement. A lot of times we say, oh, use your body language, and they're not even in that part of the manual yet. But if you do have something about body language, you can say something like, use your hands, or quiet your hands. There's people that talk with their hands, and especially if they get it up here in their face, you need to keep your hand movements between your chin and your waist. And don't exaggerate them too much, because if you use your hands a lot, like I do, then there's no emphasis when you do use it. So there's a couple things to quiet your hands. One is that you can do the reporter's stance. You ever see reporters? They do this, or they hold their hand. The other one is about pointing. When you point at the audience, they say you should use maybe 2 fingers or your hand, and then the Bill Clinton, a lot of politicians are copying this one to make a point. You don't point at people. And then I have the summary section, and I use the symbol sigma from the Greek alphabet because it's summation. You're summarizing what's going on. So you take a little something from what you like, mention the thing that distracted you, give those opportunities for improvement, and do be positive. One of the things it states in many of the manuals for Toastmasters is, we're here in a loving, warm environment. We're here to improve speakers. We're not here to criticize people. There's people that do not take criticism very well. So even using the phrase constructive criticism is a little harsh. So you're always saying it's your opinion. The new pathways, they don't have suggestions or opportunities for improvement. They say, you may want to work on, or to challenge yourself, you may want to do this phrase. So do encourage them at the end to continue in their journey. Because after all, Toastmasters is a process. And I see it in my last 5 years, in all the clubs I visited. I see people that started at one level, and I've seen them improve with the practice. Now there's 2 things to distinguish practice and rehearsal. Practice is maybe you have a prop, and you said, oh, I'm going to use this at a certain moment, and that's what you practice. Picking it up and putting it down. That's practice. The other one is called rehearsal. And that's where you rehearse the possibilities. And actors, they rehearse. They get better each time they do it. They put more emotion. They put more emphasis on certain words. So rehearsing is very important. Now remember that an evaluation is part impromptu speech and part prepared speech. So do prepare at your table after the speaker is given the speech, and then come up here and do have an opening, a body, and a conclusion, and try to tie it to the person's speech. Have an impactful opening statement. Tie it to the end. But remember, the focus of the evaluation is the speaker, not you. So it's not you coming up and doing a performance, but it is a bit of a performance. And it's part impromptu, part prepared speech. I hope I've given you enough tips today to improve your evaluations. I now call back Randy Littman.
All right.